Morning. This is me, Manisha ma'am. Welcome to the science class of class 8th. Now, let us begin with chapter first, that is crop production and management. This chapter includes following topics. The first topic of this chapter is agricultural practices. This topic includes following subtopics such as preparation of soil, sowing of seeds, adding manure and fertilizers, irrigation, protection from weeds, harvesting and storage of food grains, crop rotation and multiple cropping. Now one by one we are going to study about all these topics and subtopics, but before that firstly we will know that what is agriculture. Now the it is very important to know about the agriculture because we are getting different things that we are using in our daily life, that is mainly due to the agriculture. So first of all we will know about that what is agriculture. The word agriculture is derived from the Latin words ager, which means land or field, and culture, which means cultivation. So we can define the agriculture like this. It is an art of raising plant life from soil for the use of mankind, or we can define it like this also. Agriculture is defined as a study of science and the art of cultivating land for raising crops. So this is about the agriculture. Now the second most important thing is about the crop plants. So first of all we know that what are the crop plants. As we have seen the certain types of same plants in the same field, the plants that are grown in the same field that are of same kind are known as crop plants. For example, we have seen certain kinds of crop plants in the same field. For example, the first example is wheat, second example is rice, third example is barley. As there so many examples of the crop plants are there. So these are the crop plants, and these crop plants are also very important for us because they provide different types of cereals to us, such as rice, wheat, and other types of cereals that we are getting from the crop plants. So the crop plants are also very important for us. Now let us begin with the first topic of this chapter. The first topic is agricultural practices. So first of all we know that what is agricultural practices. There are certain kind of practices that are mainly performed by the farmers in order to get the better yield from the crop field. Such practices are commonly known as agricultural practices. As I have already told you about the certain kind of agricultural practices that have been performed by the farmer, in which the first one is preparation of soil. Now we are going to know about the preparation of soil. So first of all know that why the preparation of soil is important. Preparation of soil is important because soil provides plant with essential minerals and nutrients. So it is very important. Now we are going to know that what are the ways by which it is performed by the farmers. There are two ways. First one is by tilling and second way is by leveling. So first of all we will know about that what is tilling and what is leveling. Before that we must know that what is the main purpose of tilling and what is the main purpose of leveling. Now we are going to know about that what is the main purpose of tilling. The primary purpose of tilling is to turn over the upper layer of the soil, bringing fresh nutrients to the surface while burying weeds and the remains of previous crops and allowing them to break down. So this is the main purpose of tilling. So tilling has been done by the farmers in the field mainly due to this purpose. Second one is leveling. Now first of all we know that what is the purpose of leveling. The leveling of the tilled field is beneficial because it prevents the top fertile soil from being carried away by strong winds or washed away by rainwater. Leveling helps in the uniform distribution of water in the field during irrigation. So we can say that leveling is also very important. So these two processes is performed by the farmers in the field. Next subtopic is sowing of seeds. Now firstly we'll know that what is sowing. The process of scattering seeds in the ground soil for growing the crop plant is known as sowing. And there are mainly two methods of sowing the seed, in which the first one method is broadcasting and the second method is by using the seed drills. So first of all we know that what is broadcasting. Broadcasting is the scattering of seeds in the field by the hand. So manually it is performed by the farmers. This is one of the method of sowing the seeds, but this method is not so good because the proper distribution of the seeds is not possible by this way. So it is replaced by another method. The another method is by using the seed drills. In this method the seeds are sown in the field by using the seed drill, and this seed drill is mainly consist of vertical tube and a seed bowl. So by this way the farmers are able to distribute the seeds into the ground at the proper distance and at the proper depth. It is one of the good methods that is used by the farmers for sowing the seed. Now let's move to the next topic, that is adding manure and fertilizer. As we know that manure and fertilizer is very important for the plants because they provide the humus. They provide the humus to the soil, the certain kinds of nutrients that is important for the plants is provided by the manures and fertilizers, and they also provide the certain types of important element that is important for the growth of the plant. So these things are provided by the manures and fertilizers. So adding manure and fertilizer is also very important. So first of all we know that what is manure. Manure is a natural material that is mainly obtained by the decomposition of the plant residues and the cattle dung. And there are mainly three types of manure. Now one by one we will study about all these three types of manure, in which first one is farmyard manure, second is the green manure, and third is the compost. So first of all we know that what is farmyard manure. It is a type of fertilizer composed of waste products, typically dung, urine, produced by farm animals, most commonly used cows. The waste product contain a wealth of nutrients, including the extremely important element that plant needs, that is nitrogen. So nitrogen is mainly provided by the farmyard manure. Nitrogen is very important for the growth of the plant, and that is easily provided to the plants with the help of farmyard manure. Second is the green manure. Green manure is a term that is used to describe specific plant or crop varieties that are grown and turned into the soil to improve overall quality. Examples of green manure crops include grass mixtures and legume plants. There are certain kinds of leguminous plants that is used by the farmers in order to make the green manure. The leguminous crops like cluster beans, cowpea, etc. are grown as a green manure crops. Third one is the compost. Compost is an organic matter that has been decomposed in a process called composting. The process of recycling various organic material, otherwise regarded as waste products, and produces a soil conditioner. Compost is rich in nutrients. So these are the three types of the manure that is used by the farmers. They are used by the farmers in order to increase the fertility of the soil. Now the next one is fertilizer. Now let us know about that. What is fertilizer? Fertilizer is an inorganic material that are used mainly to increase the essential element in the soil like nitrogen, phosphate, potash, and this is known as fertilizer. it is spread. How it is spread onto the crops? It is spread onto the crops by using a machine, and that machine is commonly known as a spreader. And this is the fertilizer which is prepared in factories. Now let us know about the what is the difference between manure and fertilizer. Now one by one we will know that what is the difference between manure and fertilizer. First one is manure. Manure is a natural material obtained by the decomposition of cattle dung and plant residues. Now second one is fertilizer. Fertilizer is a man-made inorganic salt. Second point is what? Manure can be prepared in the field, but fertilizer is prepared in factories. Third point is manure provide humus to the soil, but fertilizer do not provide any kind of humus to the soil. Fourth point is manure is relatively rich in plant nutrients, but the fertilizer is very rich in plant nutrients like nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium. So these three elements are mainly provided by the fertilizers that is important for the proper growth and development of the plant. So the farmers used manure and fertilizer in order to increase the fertility of the soil, and it is also very important. Next, now let's move to the next topic, that is irrigation. As we know that water is very important for the plants. How we can say that water is important for the plants? Water is important for the plants because with the help of this, the plants are able to absorb the nutrients and the minerals from the soil. So we can say that it is important for the plants. Next thing is that the plant use the water for the process of photosynthesis. That photosynthesis is the process by which the plants are able to synthesize their food. So we can say that water is important for the plants. Then how it is supplied to the plants? It is supplied to the plants by using a method, and that method is known as irrigation. Now we are going to know about that. What is irrigation? The process of supplying water to the crop plants in the field at regular interval is known as irrigation, and there are various sources of water that is generally used for irrigating the crops, such as canals, river wells, tube wells, lakes, dams. These are used by the farmers to irrigate the field. Now let us know about that. What are the methods of irrigation? There are two methods of irrigation: modern method of irrigation and the traditional method of irrigation. Now we are going to know about that. What is the modern method of irrigation and what is the traditional method of irrigation? Now first of all, we know that what is the modern method of irrigation. The modern method of irrigation is also of two types. First is the sprinkler system, and second is the drip system. So first one is what? Sprinkler system. So let us know about that. What is the sprinkler system? In this method, this is the method by which the water is spread on the standing crop in the form of artificial rain. Second method is drip system. Drip system is a system in which the water falls drop by drop directly near the root, and this is one of the best techniques to watering the fruit plants. So these are the two modern method of irrigation that is used by the farmers. Now next is traditional method of irrigation. Now let us know about that. What are the traditional? The traditional method is also known as old method of irrigation, and there are various traditional methods that are used by the farmers to irrigate the field, in which first is moat. The moat is also known as pulley system. So in this system, the water is drawn out from the well by using a big container that is tied to a long rope which moves over a pulley fixed at one end of the well. So this is one of the method that is used by the farmer to irrigate the land. Second one is chain pump. Chain pump means it is a type of arrangement that is mainly used to lift the water from a source of water like a stream, ponds, in order to provide the irrigation to the field. So these two traditional method was used by the farmers in earlier times, but now the modern method of the irrigation is mainly performed by the farmer to irrigate the field. Next is protection from the weeds. So first of all, we know that what are weeds. weeds are the unwanted, or we can say undesirable plants. These are unwanted, undesirable plants because they cause harm to the crop plants. They cause harm to the crop plants, so we can say that it is undesirable or unwanted plants. So it is very important to remove these plants from the crop field. There are certain examples of weeds are Amaranthus, Violet, grass, Chenopodium, etc. These are the some example of the weeds, and these reduces the yield. So it is important to remove these weeds from the crop field. Now it is removed either manually or with the help of trowels, hoe, harrow, or by using weedicides. So first of all, we know that what are weedicides. Weedicides are the chemical that is mainly used to kill the pest. So there are certain kinds of weedicides also used by the farmers. For example, first is 2,4-dichlorophenoxyacetic acid, second one is 4-chloro-2-methylphenoxyacetic acid, and third one is what? Simazine. So these are the chemicals that is mainly used by the farmers in order to protect the crop plant from the weeds, or these are mainly used for the killing of the weeds. There are two diagrams given below here. The first figure shows the removing of the weed by hand, and the second figure shows the removing of weeds by spraying the chemicals. Now let's move to the another subtopic, that is harvesting, threshing and winnowing. So first of all, we know that what is harvesting, what is threshing, and what is winnowing. When the crop gets mature, its harvesting has been performed by the farmer. So first of all, we know that what is harvesting. Harvesting is the process of cutting and collecting a matured crop from the field, and we are knowing well that it usually takes 3 to 4 months for a cereal crop to get mature. So we must know that how it is performed, how the harvesting is performed. It can be done by using sickle or by using a machine. That machine is commonly known as combine or harvester. So combine or harvester is used for the harvesting of the mature crops. So by this way we are able to harvest the mature crop. Now the second step is threshing. Threshing is the process of separating the grain from the chaff. It is the process by which we are able to separate the grains from the chaff, and it can also be performed by with the help of a machine, and that machine is called a thresher, or we can say it is a type of modernized machine. The modernized machine is also used for this, and that is known as combine. Now the third step is winnowing. Now the process of separating. Now in order to separate the seed from the chaff, we are able to separate the seed from the chaff with the help of wind, and this process of separating the seed from the chaff with the help of wind is known as winnowing. So this is the third step. Now let us know about preservation and storage of food grains. Now the food grains that we will get from the crop plants, its preservation is also very important. Why its preservation is important? Preservation is important in order to protect it from the bacteria, to protect it from the insects, in order to protect it from the rodents. It is very important that it should be properly preserved. So let us know about that, how its preservation is done by the farmers. The farmers generally store the grains in jute bags or metallic bins. Large scale storage is also done, and it is mainly done in silos and granaries in order to protect from the pest and rats and insects. Now at home also, the storing of food grains at the home also done, and the dried leaves are mainly used for storing the food grains at the home. Now let us know about that, what are the features of good storage. First one is it is easy to clean. Second is it should be waterproof. Third is it should protect grains against variation in temperature and humidity. So these are the features of the good storage. Now let's move to our next subtopic, that is crop rotation and multiple cropping. Now we are going to know about that, what is the main purpose of Crop rotation. Crop rotation is done so that the soil of farms is not used for only one set of nutrients. It helps in reducing soil erosion and increases soil fertility and crop yield. So we can say that crop rotation is also very important. By doing so, manure dependence is reduced and the weeds becomes ineffective and the certain diseases also not occurs. So this crop rotation has been performed by the farmers. Next one is multiple cropping. So first of all, we know that what is the main purpose of multiple cropping. Multiple cropping is the practice of growing two or more crops in the same piece of land during a single growing season. It helps to harvest as much as possible from the limited land resources and provided other resources required for the crop production is effectively utilized. So this is known as multiple cropping, and this is the main purpose of the multiple cropping, and this also improves the yields of the crop. So this is the last topic of this chapter. Now this chapter ends. This is the end of this chapter. um, I hope that you all are able to understand. Now students, thank you.